What is going on, chill investors? All right, guys. So I wanted to go over exactly how to set up your chart and kind of give an overview of everything. Okay, so we're gonna go through. I appreciate you guys' support, but let's go ahead and get you guys set up, and so you guys can get right to work and start making some money. All right, guys. It's really straightforward once we can get this set up for you guys. So just take your time, finish this video, set it up, and then from there, trading is fairly seamless, I would say. Doesn't require any additional kind of knowledge. If you want and make yourself better, then of course, more knowledge can be helpful. Also, too much knowledge can kind of second guess other things and they go against each other. So, just here's like I would say your base, and then adding a few things here or there to make yourself better. Um, is going to help. But overall, if you just went off this strategy, you would also be a very profitable trader without any additionals. So let's go ahead and get set up. First thing is, you guys went to the WAP store, right? And signed up. But if you haven't gone on the WAP store yet, there is the Chill Investing membership, the Founders Club. Just so you know, there's a limited spot to the Founders Club. Once the Founders Club is filled, there will be another membership, but it just won't be the Founders Club. All right. Um, there are options, annual and a one-time purchase for the Founders Club, and then once those like 100 spots are filled, then we will go ahead and move forward with the next membership. It's just not going to be the Founders Club; it'll just be the Chill Members Club. But I want to reward those that believed in me early on, the first 100 people. So. Founders Club. All right, guys. So you'll sign up for that. This is just to get free access to the Discord, which there's tons of information inside of our free Discord. It is ridiculous the amount of free information and access you guys have. But even more comes into play when you have the membership. Okay. Once you sign up for the membership, you will see everything you see here. Okay. Depending on which membership you signed up for, is the one you need to make sure you claim. So if you had the free Discord and then you signed up for the Founders Club, make sure you go back on your WAP and claim the Founders Club. Your name will be green inside the Discord if you're a part of the Founders Club. Your name will be blue if you're part of the Chill Members Club, and then white if you're part of the free. Okay. So make sure your name is the right color. If it's not, make sure you go back here and claim it, because these ones put that tag on your name. When you cancel your membership, it'll fall off automatically. Okay. Then we have our Tradingview, which is tutorial videos, which is where you probably found this video. Then the Tradingview Elite Indicators. So all of our indicators here and more will be coming, and more will be updated. This isn't just like a one-time thing. I will continuously get better and make things better. And then we have our spreadsheet and our spreadsheet course. Our spreadsheet is specific to portfolio tracking and wheel strategy tracking. It's an amazing spreadsheet. Just need to Google email or Google Drive in order to use it. And then the wheel strategy course, which is a full course on the wheel strategy, and just becoming profitable, collecting income, everything like that. Um, and the spreadsheet is same thing, has a full course on it, 7 lessons on how to use it, and all it is a nice easy link. Okay. But let's get back to the strategy, okay, and the indicators. So what you're going to do when you sign in here is you're going to put your username, okay? So when I go to my trading view right here and I click my little name up here, here's your username. So for me, it's investing with chill. So I put investing with chill and I hit claim indicator. After you do that, you want to make sure you give it a second, like, I don't know, 30 seconds, go back to your trading view, refresh your trading view, okay? It doesn't always populate right away, so just refresh. I know some people want to message me right away. I'm just going to tell you, by the time you've sent me a message and then I tell you to refresh again, it usually populates. It's not me or anything. It's just the two websites having to communicate to each other to then send you access. Just takes a second. Okay, so give it a second, it'll refresh. You'll have all these indicators. The two main indicators, if you have the free version of TradingView, you don't need any more than that, okay? You just need the Chill Master Elite and the Chill Momentum Elite. Those are the two you only need to be profitable, okay? Anything else, which this one, that's an extra, you don't need it. This one is actually built into this one, so you don't need it. The AI trend lines is built into the master. You don't need this one. And this one is in testing to help find target pricing. Okay. So it's in testing. It's not even fully going, so you don't even need it. Okay. The main two are these two. These ones are individually there because they are built into these. So I just made them separately available if you like to see them separately. Okay. And control them separately. But these are the main two you need. Okay. So when we go to your trading view, all you're going to do is you're going to go to any ticker. Okay. I'm just going to go to BitF. Okay. We're going to go to launch. Just type in any ticker and hit launch. Mine's currently set up, but all I'm going to do is if yours isn't set up yet, or if it's just brand new, it'll look something different. If yours is set up, just hit this little drop down, create a new layout. Okay. And I'm going to say demo, create. Okay. Now, yours will populate like this, okay, with candles and everything. So what we're going to do, okay, is get you guys fully set up and everything. First things first, I'm going to set up the chart, and then we're going to add the indicators, okay? So first thing, you're going to go to this little drop down right here, okay, and you are going to remove the volume. Okay, because I just want to get you guys set up with how we set it up, and then if you guys want to add anything to yours, you can do that after. Okay, so remove the volume, step one. Cool. Next, we're going to go to our settings right here. Settings. Okay, and you guys will have these little borders set up this way from default settings. That's just default. Okay, we don't use those colors. Um, for those are for candles. Okay, and actually step back one. Okay, just go back one step here, cancel out of that. What you're going to do is you're going to go and star the Heikinashi candles and star the candles. Okay, and when you're setting up your chart, you want to be on the Heikinashi candles. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click this. Okay, and now they're starred, so they should both be up here for you to switch back and forth to. Heikinashi is the default, is the standard we use. The reason I use candles is because I like to see where sometimes a gap is. Because if a stock gaps up, if I can find a gap real quick. Um, did it ever do a big gap? There. Okay. For example, I'm going to go into a little explanation. So you see this little gap up, stocks tend to come down and fill the gap. Now, if a stock gap down, they tend to bounce up to fill the gap also. Okay, same thing right here. So this gap down, see this little gap right here? And then next couple days it filled it. So I like to look for gaps is why I have candles on there, but Heikinashi is what I use. Okay, so just go back to Heikinashi. Okay, and yours are going to be red and green. Okay, and the reason for that is because how we set ours up. Again, these are probably green and these are red. Okay, same thing, same thing. Okay, they're all going to be this way. Okay, that's how they are set up from default. Now we don't use those. Okay, so what we do, okay, you're gonna check this box because I'm pretty sure it's unchecked. And Heikinashi, if you don't know what they are, and inside of our Discord for full members, there's a breakdown of how Heikinashis work and how you can tell if a candle's bullish or bearish. Okay, super simple. It's easier than regular candles, to be honest. And all Heikinashis are doing are finding the averages. So they're taking the open, the close, the high, and the low, and averaging all of those four that you would normally see on a candle and giving just a smooth transition to see how everything is actually flowing. Mentally, it's a lot easier to see it if you are seeing this. Like you can tell this is an uptrend, this is a downtrend, this is an uptrend, right? And then if you switch to candles, you're like, okay, well, this, I can tell it's kind of a downtrend, but there's a green candle in there, right? Like it's just not an easy flow. So what I like is an easy flow to easily determine where, what direction we're kind of going in. So Heikinashi's help with the averages. Now by changing this setting, as you can see, Heikinashi price is 203 because it's doing the average. What we want is the real-time price, which is 214. So I like to see where the real price is moving, but I like the flow and the aesthetics and the way our momentum and diamonds and everything trigger based on Heikinashi movements. So what we'll do is we're going to go and click this. Okay, you're going to unclick the borders. Okay, so unclick that. And then I use the generic, and you're going to want a black screen, black background. Okay. And what I use is one of these little light gray candles, up to you. Um, little darker, a little lighter. I prefer, I think, the little darker one. So I pick the gray for the body and light gray for the wicks. Okay. Stick with me. I know it's all one color, Colby. What is this? What are you doing? Um, okay. We're going to do the gray here. Okay. Um, a default. I'm going to go through all the settings right now. So just follow along, pause the video, make your changes, okay? Time zone, whatever time zone you're in, right? Status line, I have a logo, the title, chart values. I don't know. This is up here. Bar change value, so just how much the stock is up or down. Volume. So like all this is up to you on how much information you want to see. Last day change, and then background. I don't know what. Anyway, it's on there. Um, then we go to scales. Okay, so visible on mouse over, visible on mouse over. No overlapping labels. I don't want overlapping labels. So like if this price and this were like the same, they would just overlap and you wouldn't see both the numbers clearly. So I pick no overlapping so I can see everything very easily. Um, these are all checked. Value according to scale. Value lines, blue, orange. I think that's standard. High-low pricing, just so I can see the all-time high and the all-time low based on how much of the chart I'm viewing. So the more I zoom out, right, it'll give me better. If I zoom in, I can see what that low is. So I just like to see the high and the low. You don't have to. I don't do the bid and ask. I'm trading on a different platform. I'm not trading on TradingView, so I don't need the bid and ask. Um, days of the week, time, blah blah. Canvas. Okay. Here's the background part, okay? So I do gradient. I don't do solid because if I do solid, it's just well, if it was black, okay, like it's just too black. I like a little bit of contrast from high to low. So what I do is gradient. I do black there, and I do the one shade lighter. Just kind of brightens it up as it gets taller. Um, Vertical and horizon grid lines. And then I have these at 0% and 0%. If I change this is what it'll look like. I'm not really interested in having grid lines on my chart. If I do have my crosshairs, which is just like, see how my mouse is over and there's crosshairs, um, white here, dash lines. If you want to see your crosshairs a little easier, you can make them thicker. So that's up to you. Watermark, this is just the middle part right here. If you want it to be, you know, black or white or red, I mean, that's all up to you on colors. I have everything except the replay mode. Text, I have white, just this is the text right here. So if I change this to purple, that'll all be purple. Again, preference up to you on how you visibly see something. Then these are the lines. I have at 10%. These are the lines of this like border here. So if I turn these all the way up, it'll be a thicker line. I just prefer it down here, 10, 11%. Doesn't matter. My OCD will say 10 probably. Visible on mouse over. I haven't changed any of these. Margins 10, 8, 10. Trading, I don't trade on here, so I can just remove this. If you trade using TradingView, then you want that. And that's it. So those are your settings, okay? So pause the video, make your adjustments, and then once you've made those adjustments, we'll carry on. Give you 2 seconds. All right, back to it. So now your chart's set up this way. You have your canvas to be black. You can also change, I believe, in your settings right here. Yep, dark theme. If you want dark theme, there's light theme, you know, dark theme. Okay. I'm pretty sure I just changed my canvas and everything like that, so I got to change that again. Darn it. But that's dark theme. Let me go back here. Look at that. It just ruined all my hard work. 2 seconds. Um, dark gray, dark gray. Boom, boom. Scale canvas, not solid. Black, black, black. Lines. Don't want any lines. Don't want any lines. I want more darkness. There. Alrighty. So there's our gray. Okay. So the next part, okay, is going to be adding our indicators. Okay, and all we're going to do is you're going to go to your indicators right here at this top. Okay, click there. Go to your invite only scripts. I have a lot. Okay, so if you go to your invite only scripts, you're going to see Chill Master Elite. Click that one. Okay, and then you're going to see Chill Momentum Elite. And if you don't see them, just type in Elite. Okay, and you will see the ones MACD Elite, Stock Elite, Master Elite, Momentum Elite. Okay, and I'm going to add the Momentum Elite. Okay, you now have the setup. That's it. Okay, done. Everything's done for you. You don't have to change anything. If you wanted to change anything, okay, you can, but it's not necessary. And other videos, I go over each indicator separately, but this is to set up your indicator, okay, and your chart. Now, you don't need the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15, 30, okay? These work best right now, the 2 hour, the 1 day, the 1 week, and the 1 month, okay? There will be a full strategy on how I run my strategy specifically, but quick, simple look at everything, right? Let me just go ahead and show you. But ultimately, we should probably, these are like little sell, buy, sell, buy, okay? Following the diamonds, okay? It's not always 100% sell out. Again, you're going to see my strategy, but that's up to you managing your portfolio on how much you do on each move. But like I said, I would dollar cost in, dollar cost out, be the most efficient trader you can possibly be. Again, if you go to the weekly time frames, you're going to get less diamonds, 1, 2, and then a sell up here. But you're going to catch the bigger moves, okay? But again, there's a strategy to it all. If we go to like SoFi, for example, right? Yep, you had your little buy here and you had your sells up here. You had your buys here, sell over here. Okay, so very profitable when it comes down to the weekly time frame. It's just a longer time frame though, so you're not expecting to be buying and selling within the same week. This is buying in like April and this is selling in November, right? So you almost held it for about 6 or so more months. So and then monthly. Monthly is very rare, right? We get the 1 month and then we finally got a 1 month sell. Like it took from 2023 to 2025. It takes a very long time for these diamonds on the monthly to trigger. Okay. Um, so, and then you have your 2 hour, which can be just kind of quicker trades. Um, so, boom, boom, boom. So, there's a few things like that, but I mainly stick to the 2 day or the daily and the weekly. Okay. And this is your momentum histogram. This is going to be the momentum. Basically, the purple and orange line is like a MACD. So you just go ahead and use it like a MACD would. Again, more detail in other videos as you go through the course on how each one is used. And then this is your momentum. The more blue, again, you can change these colors, but the lighter the blue, like coming down, momentum is going more and more bearish, and then white is starting to creep towards the middle line. So bullish, really bullish, less bullish, less bullish, less bullish, less bullish, less bullish, bearish, 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 less bearish, less bearish, less bearish, less bearish, more bearish, less bearish. Okay. So that's all it's telling you is like deep blue is increasing to bullishness. And then white is always trying to see momentum is starting to reverse in whatever direction that it's previously was going. Okay. So that's how that works. Again, I will go through some of the back testing inside the community. You can ask more questions and everything, but that is how you set it up initially. Okay, go through each video on everything and what they are, but you're going to have these add, trim, sell labels populate. Okay, these populate because of the company's value tends to be where people tend to trim. Okay, tend to trim here. Okay, buyers start to come into here. Doesn't mean to buy unless a diamond tells you to. Okay. Unless a diamond saying, hey, this is a good opportunity to dollar cost average in, probably should start taking some of those. Okay. And then this is a buy, right? This is where buyers tend to step in, which they did today when that label populate, but it doesn't mean do it yet. Okay. So you just got to wait for a second. But labels just help you understand, hey, we're getting to this trim area. Be aware. Okay, be aware of where you are because we could see momentum flip as sellers are coming to step into play. Okay, same thing. Be ready to buy because we're now hitting these zones where people tend to buy, and sure enough, we did. Okay, it's not instant gratification of these buys. They're dollar cost average in. They're waiting, right? Like this whole way down, people were probably like, "Oh, you should buy it now. You should buy it now. You should buy it now." No, no, no. Let me wait. Okay, now I should buy a little bit. Okay, maybe I should buy a little bit again, right? So it's helping you be patient, be patient, be patient. Okay. So that's what the labels are for. These are quick overviews. Bull bear line. This is like everyone's support and resistance. Like if it's above the line, I'm bullish. If it's below the line, I'm bearish temporarily. Okay. Again, you want to know our strategy completely. Please go inside the Discord, find out because our strategy, this bull bear line means something more. Okay. Okay. So, and at a quick glance, and to tell you guys, above the bull line, I follow the daily time frame. Below the bull line, I follow the weekly time frame. Okay. Bollinger Bands, if you run our wheel strategy, that's important because we put it in this indicator because TradingView only allows for 2 indicators per free version of TradingView, 2 indicators only. So I wanted to put the Bollinger Band in there so you guys can run the wheel strategy without having to remove one of our indicators. So I added the Bollinger Band. If you once you learn what these colors mean, okay, colors are just telling you what zone you're in, okay. So when a company becomes undervalued and overvalued is what this is for, right? So as we creep higher, we're getting darker, right? So light red is like, okay, we're creeping up to where we're going to start looking to trim and sell. Okay. So we're entering a sell zone. Okay, now we're in the trim zone. We're ready to trim whenever we get a diamond. Go ahead and trim. Now we're in the dark red. Now we're in the sell zone, right? So it's getting more and more overvalued as we creep up. Now earnings can happen and companies get revalued. Same thing on the way down. Light green, we're entering a sell zone. We're not in a sell zone, right? Neutral gray is our neutral gray zone. So it's just neutral, buy, sell, like it's just, you're kind of in the no man's land, right? Okay. And then we get these yellow zones, which tends to be our adding zone. And then deep green is our buy zone. Okay. So the most undervalued it's going to be is going to be a dark green, and the middle, like where you would say it's a pretty good value, I would say it's a good time to buy, at least dollar cost average is yellow, and really good time to lean into it is more like the dark green. So that's what the colors are for. There's a legend here to tell you. Okay. So entering a buy zone, add zone, neutral zone, trim zone, entering a sell zone, sell zone. Purple means sell it all. You're near the top. Just go ahead, fully exit. Don't risk it. For example, here's Iran. Purple, sell it all. Sure, could you gotten a little more? Absolutely, but you could have held for this bottom, right? So 63, right? You got fully out, and now you're getting rebuys at the 40, getting rebuys at the 35. I'm sure we're going to get another diamond here shortly. Okay, so that's for that. Then we have, remove that, and then you have active trend lines. Okay, so these are going to populate as things move, but they need a trend line or pivot needs to be counted before it moves. So some lines will be lost. It'll take a day or two to recalculate because it needs other candles to make sure that is an actual pivot point before it just goes and draws a trend line, right? So there's our trend line here. We are still holding the trend line. These are automatic. The previous green, the light green, and the light red, you can see the dark green and dark red. Those are active trend lines. The ones that are slightly faded are previous trend lines. Okay, so active, and then the previously active trend lines are the lightly green and lightly red. And what those are showing you is that, well, it could reject and be, that's now kind of like a resistance, right? We're going to come and hit this and it's going to reject. It did, and then it busted through. It found support for 1 day, 2 day, and then it fell through. Okay, so here's support, and then it broke through. So this is an important trend line still. So we could bounce up, hit this, and then bounce back down. We could go ahead and bust through it, test it, and then bounce higher, right? So it's an important line to know. So that's why it populates. If you don't want to see the previous trend lines, you can turn it off. If you don't want to see any of the trend lines, you can go ahead and turn them all off. Okay, so all of it is completely up to you. You can adjust colors if you wanted to, um, or just leave it how it is. Everything I show will be left how it is. Um, and yeah, that's how you set up your chart. That is how a quick little overview of just talking about it. Go through the rest of the videos. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. I want to help you guys. The goal is to make everyone far more profitable in this world of trading. Again, I would star the ones, the 2 hour, the 1 day, the 1 week, and the 1 month. Those are the ones I would star. If you guys have any other questions, please reach out. I will talk to you guys later.